Diaz.
Finished sunning out here. How are we doing?
So what were some of the things that made you happy, you were impressed with, the things that made you not so happy and pissed off at?
Well, number one, we came out, I think, injury-free, which is really the first goal of spring, so pleased about that. The big thing we talked about this morning was passion. We wanted guys that were excited to play. We had a great turnout. The fan base really stepped up, turned up today. So we felt like we had to repay them with a team that looked like they were excited to be here, and I thought we passed that test. In terms of the actual ball, I thought there was good execution on both sides. I was happy to see all of our three quarterbacks make plays. We believe all three of those guys can play, and I think they go into summer now knowing that all three guys can play. So I think that was a big plus out of today. Our one defense played, I think, like our one defense should. There was one drive that kind of I thought was not to our standard, but for the most part, I thought those guys tackled well. And the big thing is, are we starting to look like the Miami Hurricanes? And I think in glimpses you can kind of see the improvements that this team has made. Now, if we stop here, we have no chance. And so what today was about is today's about it's like taking a photo of ourselves, and we know that we have to continue to improve. And the guys now that it's their team, they got to go in the summer, and we got to make a big jump when we come back for report date, and then another big jump during training camp to be able to come back here and be victorious August 24th.
Manny Tate played, in the shotgun a lot today, and he seemed really comfortable and did much better. Any thoughts about that?
All of our quarterbacks played in the gun, and all of our quarterbacks, including Tate, played under. So to me, we've got the whole point of spring practice is we're getting our offense installed. We got to find out who the best 11 guys are to run it, and the best 11 after them, and then after that, you kind of sort of find out what everybody does best. But we want all of our guys to be able to play our stuff in all different kinds of ways.
Man, you want to use this as a dress rehearsal sort of for the game in August. Were you happy with what you saw so far from your team during this process?
The whole 36 hours were unbelievable. Everybody associated with this stadium, the Citrus Bowl community were fantastic. Where we stayed, the hotel we stayed in, the meeting rooms we met in, the ballrooms. I mean, just we recreated everything as similar as possible as what it's going to be in August. And so the game and the crowd and all that, it really exceeded my expectations. But the last 36 hours it's all been better than I even wanted it to be. I'm very pleased in terms of how this went.
Manny, what stood out specifically defensively?
Defensively, we were going to be kind of vanilla sort of play. I still like the disruption we had up front. Looked like a lot of tackle for loss. Looked like a lot of sacks. I know we're playing touch football with the sacks, but that's still a big part of who we are. I like the way some of our young defensive backs stepped up. DJ Ivey and Al Blades and Gervin Hall, some of those guys that haven't played a lot. We know what the linebackers can do. Jade Silvera's had a really good spring, so it's good to see him again pop up in the backfield. So, again, the Miami Hurricane defense, there's a standard of how we should play, and I think those guys understand it. And I think you saw it today.
Manny, you mentioned the offense. You mentioned the sacks, which kind of leads into the offensive line. You had Zion out there today. What was just kind of your assessment of how that group did?
Well, again, it's going to depend on what the matchups are, right? Okay, in terms of who they're going up against. Our offensive line has made a big jump this spring. They really have. I think they'll take confidence in that. Now, I think the question is finding out who our best guys are and being able to settle when we get everybody back from injury and be able to settle on our lineup, getting some continuity with those five guys. But if I had to grade the entire spring from the offensive line standpoint, I think they've really made a big jump for us.
Will, we know Manny obviously came here as a skilled pass catching tight end, but have you seen him reach a different level compared to where he was last year?
Well, yeah, he has, like all of our guys have. And Will's making that jump. He's just in year 2 on our campus. But the thing that stands out is that the ways we have now to get him the ball in space and really let his athleticism really go. He's got those long strides. He just eats up yards. So just simple ways that we can get him the ball, and the quarterbacks did a nice job putting him on him. And he's a guy that can run after catch. We make a big deal about taking efficient plays and turning them into explosive plays. And Will's a guy that can do that. And then he's a big time problem in the red zone. That was a great catch versus good coverage, a good throw. And that's what really we want, and that's where tight ends really become so valuable in your offense.
I know, obviously, you have to watch the tape, but any guys second and third team jump out to you? Patrick Joyner, we saw made plays. What guys stood out that flashed to you second?
I do think it's important to point out Patrick Joyner, stepped up at linebacker, and again, that's who he was in high school, and we kind of recruited him with the idea of being both. And I think he'll continue on that when you sort of reshape his body. In terms of the rest of the 2s and 3s, a lot of times it was hard to tell, those guys at times are hardly functioning, but what they at least got today is they got them on film in Orlando, and they know where they are. So we can all have exit meetings as coaches now this week coming up. Say, listen, here's where you are. If you want to be this guy, here are the things that you have to do to accomplish those goals.
How crucial was it? How crucial was it to build maybe some excitement from the Miami fan base here in Orlando?
Yeah, well, we were coming, and we weren't sure what to expect. And the way our fans brought it today was unbelievable. And that, and again, we wanted to try to repay them with a performance worthy of, coming here and spending a great day. We got lucky with the weather, the way yesterday was. And, again, what should be the minimum expectation when you come watch the Miami Hurricanes play? You should see a team that looks like they love playing for each other, a team that plays with physicality, a team that plays with toughness, and I think some of those things were on offering today.
This was obviously your first spring in this role. What have you learned about yourself in the job through this spring?
Well, like anything else, you hire a lot of really smart people and let them do their job, and it gives you a different perspective. But you also make sure you really define what wins football games. And our team, we've really drilled deep down into that this spring of understanding how we win a football game. That's why even our spring game, we all of our scrimmages have been games, so we can understand time, where the ball is on the field, and those type of things. So we're not just practicing, we're not just running plays. What we try to say, we don't ever practice, we always play, and that way we'll be better prepared to play in the fall.
Mark Rick was singing your praises at halftime up there. How has that relationship changed and grown? I know it's a little bit different, but since he's retired and you've taken over.
Well, the one part that hasn't changed is that we're really good friends, and I've got a lot of respect for who he is, not just as a man, but as a football coach. But now, again, what an amazing thing for me to have someone like him with a wealth of experience that cares very deeply for the Miami Hurricanes that I can call on at any time. So it'll be great when with spring ball over and things slow down and we can kind of get back together again and sort of talk through the way the world works.
Manny, and the opportunity that he's going to have now, I was just going to kind of jump on that question with Mark. Just being an analyst for the ACC network, and he's going to come back in a different role. I mean, how do you expect that to go for him?
I think it's great for him. I think just him being around the game is great. And again, he has given us a springboard to where this program needs to go in a lot of different ways, and we're very indebted to him for that. Okay, thank you all so much. Okay.